Oh. Hello, Mama's Angels. We're back again. This is part 2. You had to wait for this part. I look fat.
Nuh-uh. You look good.
Thank you.
So anyway, my angels are watching.
Oh no, it's okay. Go ahead.
I can't.
We had some other stories.
So
Yes,
welcome
my
back.
aunt did have some more stories to tell you, and then I want to talk about my situation.
Okay, well, it's kind of pick up from the other one you've been watching like for a month or whatever. As we talk, I can remember more things. I remember one time the children were small. I have 3 of them. I guess Isaac must have been
The
9.
oldest. He's the oldest.
Yes, 9, and then 5 and 4. But I was going to sleep. Should I say that I was doing the marijuana?
Who?
Marijuana.
Oh, if you want to.
So we just gonna say it. I was young, okay, and at that time, you know, people was doing a little something, and I did, and I went to go to sleep.
Smoking them funny cigarettes.
Yeah, they were funny.
The magic cigarette.
Those were the ones. And I was going to sleep, and I had a really bad toothache, a really, really bad toothache. And so I'm laying down. I just, you know, did a little something, feeling good about myself. And I laid down, and I remember, I said, my toothache is gone, you know? Feels good. You know, because I was like, oh, yeah, you know, toothache is gone, everything's fine. I look up, and all these entities come in. They're all in white silhouettes. So it's all white around the room, in the front, you know, in the top of the room. And my grandmother comes in, my father's mother, and says, well, see, there she is. There she is right there. And I'm looking like, you know, who? Y'all trying to call me or something? Because
I ain't ready to go.
Yeah, I'm not ready. So this happened, and them coming in, it was, I don't know, it felt like at least 10-15 minutes. And then all of a sudden, myself, my guardian angel, whispers, but you're not breathing. So I get up, and I'm like, oh my God. Because while I was laying there, I remember saying my toothache was gone. Man, this feels good. You know, so my thing is, when you get ready to cross over, you may not be able to explain the colors and the things like that, but the feeling is so freaking peaceful.
Is it peaceful?
You know, it is. It feels good.
That's what Grandma said too.
Yeah, and that's why people, you know, when it's time to go, it's like, I'm just gonna go on and go, because you can feel that feeling. It's like, I'm not scared. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. You know.
That's another thing. A lot of people are scared of dying, but when you live your life right and you deserve to, you know, go and be at peace.
Yeah.
You won't be scared, and you don't have anything to be afraid of.
Yeah, I think I was fighting it. I think I have say a strong soul. I have something, you know, about myself, because when that happened, I wake up and I'm breathing, you know, and then I go upstairs to see my babies, and I'm like, so, you know, something is happening. So I'm like kissing all 3 of them, went back downstairs, went to lay back down, and it happened again. You're not breathing. And then this time,
somebody said you're not breathing again.
Yeah. So this time I wake Ted up, my husband. Then at that time I wake him up and I say something's wrong. So he gets up with me. We stand up. We come out of the room, and I said, Ted, I'm going. And my whole body just fell. It's like when you go and your soul leaves.
Your body is just...
Yeah, it's a vessel. That sucker drops. Because it was like, what? You know, and I could hear him, no, don't go, not yet. No, don't do that, don't do that. And I'm, you know, and then we went outside, and I could get no air. You know, when you're choking or whatever, it's a horrible feeling to be choking, because it's like, and you get nothing. Your brain is working. You know, the best thing to do, excuse me, is to not panic. Excuse me. But it's kind of hard, because hell, you can't breathe. So it's hard not to panic. You have to think about, okay, relax, don't panic. So we're outside, I'm breathing, nothing's coming in. It's hot. It is. It's very hot, and it's like, oh, Ted, I'm going again. Wow. And I'm out. And the feeling of that, and it happened like 3 or 4 times. My mother was living next door, and so we go over there, and he runs in, and he knocks on the door and tells him, something wrong with Gwen. Gwen needs something. Something wrong with her. Come see. And so she comes out like, oh my God, what's wrong? And he called an ambulance and things like that. And I'm just saying it because it was just like really scary, but calm and serene and beautiful.
When you're in the real world, it's scary.
Yeah.
But when you're gone, you like,
yeah, I'm cool.
What's going on?
That was just one of the things that that I remember that they came to me, but I wasn't ready to go. And needless to say, after that, because when they took me to the hospital, it's like, well, we're gonna test you for drugs and see if you done had some drugs. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna fail, because I know what had happened that night. And I said, okay.
And then you stopped smoking every
Yeah, because they tested me, and it wasn't none in my system. I said, who test they look at? Because I know what I did. But anyway, that's fine.
Look at that. Don't he do it?
Somebody. Yes, it was. They was looking out for me. So after that moment, nah, sister didn't smoke no more.
That sounds like they needed you, your grandmother, and whoever those people were.
Was they looking for something?
They needed you for something.
And this was the day before Skeeter passed.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, it was the day before he passed away.
It sounds
because
like they needed you for
remember them
something.
saying that it was stress. Was anything stressing you out? I was like, well, no, my brother going through some things, and they's like, well, it's your brother. And I was telling him that, and they think that it's you, like, you stressing me out. I never really had a panic attack, a stress, induced, because it felt like, I was dying. And then I told him, and he was like, what? Because he was outside of the ambulance. He was like, are you okay? You okay? And he was going through his thing, and then it might have been 2 days later. 2 days later, he passed. And it was like, what? Because somebody had wanted me. What in the world is going on? So, I don't know if that point, because he was depressed, because I used to didn't think depression was a real thing until it hit home.
She need her diaper changed.
And maybe at that point he was weak. And he couldn't, he couldn't handle it. To fight off, because he was in a state of really bad depression, But yeah.
Okay.
You have any more stories?
I have other things, but yeah, I forgot. But it'll come back to me. Go ahead and talk.
I was just gonna say that, hi baby, I'm really good at interpretation. We kind of talked about this in the video that I did with my mom, it was just me and her. They experience things more in real life. My mom does real life and dreams, but I experience things more in dreams. And there's so much stuff. It's like you can't even remember all of it. You can't even explain all of it. You can't even, there's not enough time in the world to even tell all of it. But I just know that there's so many dreams where somebody's always needs help. You can run on me. Someone always needs help, and I always get dreams where I have to, it's like a puzzle.
Like, figure it out.
Yeah, I have to figure it out, and then next thing I know, something happens in real life, and I'm just like, did I just have this dream? Like, one is simple.
Wow, for real?
Yeah, one is simple. Something like what normal everyday life, because I feel like with our family, we have Cherokee in our blood.
Yeah.
And Native American, they tend to be psychic. So, I feel like I have more of the psychic thing going on with dreams. And my mom asked her daughter, or my cousin Tia, what school she was going to. And I was like, Southwestern. I never heard of this school before in my life. Never knew she even applied to go to school. And then she asked Tia, and she said, well, what school are you going to? And I said, Southwestern. And Tia looked at me and she's like, Southwestern. And then I'm just like, how did I know? How did I know? And I just easily said it. No problem. Because I knew right before my mom even asked her the question, right before we even knew that we were going to see Tia that day, that night, I had a dream that her sister was telling me, yeah, Tia's going to Southwestern. And then the next day, Tia comes over. My mom's asking her what school you going to. So I thought that was weird. And then there was always I had dreams of this lady. She's always in this specific house, and she's always in some other room than what the room I'm in, and she's always screaming, "God, please help me!" And like she's like screaming for help, and I'm just like, I'm staying put because I don't know what it is. I don't help without.
Okay, can I comment to that? You should help. The next time, listen. The next time you have that dream, go help her. I'm not in the shot.
No.
Go help her because we had to move your big booty over.
That's okay.
Because I told my viewers this too. When you have dreams, we gotta get her to be quiet. When you have dreams, it's not always about the person that you see. It's typically about yourself. It's some aspect of you. So when that person that you heard crying out, "God, please help me," it's something in you that needed some help with something. So go ahead and recognize that you can control your dreams. I told y'all that before. You have complete control over your dreams. Do not be afraid. You are the most powerful when you are in that state, in that astral state. Some people, I get a lot of viewers ask me, how can I astral travel? How can I astral travel? I can't do it. And once you finally realize, yes, you can. You do it all the time. You just don't realize it. I'm gonna tell you some of the. I'm gonna tell you some of the ways that you can recognize that you do. When you leave this plane and you astral travel and you go to another plane, typically you can hear things. There's a barrier that you break when you leave the physical world into the astral world, or even the spiritual world, because there's several different layers that your higher self can take you to. Typically, when people leave their body and they go travel and they fly around, they just go to the astral travel, because the astral world or astral plane, because that's just what we can handle. But you hear buzzing. It sounds like a bunch of bees just buzzing around. That's how you know you're in a different plane. Or sometimes you can so this is hard to explain. Have you ever heard nothing before? Mm-hmm. Do y'all understand what that means?
You stop and say, "Do you hear that?"
And it's nothing. Nothing. To hear nothing is a loud noise.
Dead silence.
Dead silence is noisy. It's hard to explain it unless you really go through it. Sit at home and do your chants and listen to nothing, because there's something to hear in nothing. Happens to me all the time, and that's when you can. When you hear that nothing, that's something in that nothing, that's when you really are channeling your higher self and the power that is in you, and it's real.
You can also see things where you're not looking too.
Mm-hmm. So what else did you want to comment to?
Well, I just wanted to say with that astral travel thing, when people are asking you to teach them how to astral travel, every time I hear that, I want to make sure that people know that it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
I tell viewers all the time, it's dangerous.
If you want to take it upon yourself to try to do that, that's fine. You're grown, do what you want to do. But at the same time, I just need everybody to know how dangerous it is. Because I don't know if you've seen the movie Insidious, and I feel like we talked about this before.
We did on that other video.
That's why I'm going to keep saying it every time we make a video.
You got over 300 views.
I'm gonna talk about it every single time she mentions it on the video. It's dangerous. That movie Insidious, if you haven't seen it, Google it. That movie really tripped me out because so much of it was real. So much of it was true. You can lose yourself. Yeah. And that's how people, when they're just like, when the cause of death unknown, because you gone someplace else and you just left your body there and you can't find your way back. That can true. Really happen.
But and a lot of the movies
are true.
They are true.
Right.
You just don't know it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Too many divas on the couch, y'all.
No. And this is the fact that when you go and you astral travel, you're on a different plane. You're not on Earth per se. You're not in this realm. You're in another one, and you could be stuck in a realm where you can go to different places, and you could be stuck in one where there's a lot of bad things. Want to do bad things or entities wanting to do destructive things, or you could be someplace peaceful. You can try to go someplace peaceful and end up taking a wrong turn. So that's why I'm just like,
bring something back with you.
Yeah. Or if your like deepest desires, if you're like really mad at something, that can take you someplace too. So I'm just like, I don't know if I would want to
do it.
You need to really understand what you're doing.
Yeah. I know. I was sleep, you know, and some people I ask, they don't know or can't remember their dreams. A lot of times I can, but sometimes I can. And I was flying, and what I would do is see these houses, and I would go into the house just to look around, see how they live in. You know,
I was the one that did that.
And
did that.
I would float. And I would do this and go into the houses. And at one time, I went into the house, and it was Granddaddy was there, and John, which is my mother's father and brother, and the other brother, Danny. And I think Brown was in the kitchen. I can't remember verbatim what had happened, but John, he hadn't gotten hit yet, because, you know, he had like 2 close head injuries. He's really messed up in the face. He was his regular self. And something went on, and I could remember it at that time, but right now I can't. Maybe, you know, it'll come to me, but just saying that I would float. Now this other time, and I would do this all the time, right? This other time, I'm floating, and I'm about to go in this person's house, right? So, but he or someone gets out of the car, go over to the door, get ready to come up, and I'm just going to come on in, you know, when he opened the door. So I get ready to come in, and he says, "Wah!" And I said, "Arr!"
Who said that?
Whatever it was. His head got large, and it was black, as if it was a demon or something. It was all black, and it was like, "Ah!" And I was like, "Ah!" In my dream, I stopped cold and went back the other way. I went on home because I had woke up. And I was like, oh.
So wait a minute, was this a person?
Now, when I was flying over to the house, I thought it was the person. I thought it was the person coming out of the car. He came out of the car. He went to the door with his key, and I'm just like, oh, you know, I'm going to walk on in with him, you know. And then he turned around and scared the mess out of me in my dream. I knew what was going on. I woke up.
Wow.
What was his demeanor?
He was standing there like a person, but when he turned around and looked at me, his jaw, okay, you know, like the mummy. Remember,
Yes.
dude, Brandon Fraser was like, oh, these mummies, and they jaws open up like that. That's what it did. And it was like, wow, and I was like, oh.
Okay, so he wasn't of this earth. He knew.
I don't think he was.
I'm saying, with him getting out of the car, you didn't see his face this whole time.
I didn't see his face the whole time. When he got out of the car, he looked like a man.
Okay,
man
but was he
getting out of
like
the car.
Caucasian, African American?
I don't know.
What was his demeanor walking up to the door?
He was just walking with the keys in his hand, and he got out the car, and it was nothing. It was normal.
You don't know what ethnicity he was?
I don't. I have no idea, and I didn't know who it was, and I wasn't going into someone's house that I knew, like, you know, Granddaddy and them, but
What was his hair type?
nope, it was short.
Thin, smooth, afro.
Yeah, by the time I got up on him and could see him, it was the other thing. And I closed my eyes in my dreams. I said, oh, time to go. I mean, it really scared me. Now that, you know, a lot of times you get startled. No, I was scared. That scared me. So I'm not. So like it is a lot of things that happen, but like I said, you remember as you know telling stories or whatever. But yeah, it was something else.
I've had dreams where I was flying.
Yeah, and I thought everybody had dreams like that until I found later that you know you can't. I asked Emery, can you fly in your dream? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, but everybody can't do that, and I'm just really shocked because I've done it ever since I was. Remember, we were little girls. We say, I have dreams about flying. So do I. And you know, we always fly in our dreams. It's really weird. I was going to say something. I had an astral travel. Whoa, that's what I want to talk about. When Yana's talking about astral traveling and how dangerous it is, and that you shouldn't do it. Let me make this clear. And I said this on other videos. It's okay to astral travel.
I didn't say you shouldn't do it.
She said be careful. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Oh.
This is not working. Okay. Okay. When you astral travel, I always say don't self-induce it unless you really know what you're doing. Okay, and we're gonna have to close this down because the camera's getting the batteries going low.
Okay.
But unless you really know what you're doing, don't self-induce. What I do is you say your one-word affirmations, your one-sentence affirmations throughout the day. You do your chanting, your own chanting or your hue chanting. Talk to your higher self as if they're a person right next to you. That your higher self will come and get you. Your spirit guides and all that will come and get you, and you travel. And that's the best way to astral travel.
Yes,
because it's the safest way. I remember, and also wanted to say, because we gotta close this video down. I had a cousin. Remember Lynn? Our cousin Lynn.
Yes.
I used to love her. She was like my idol. And she got really sick, and I had a dream about her. And in the dream, she said, "Hey, girl." I'm like, "Lynn?" She said, "Yeah." In the dream, she was bald-headed, but you know, she always had really long hair. Yeah. And she said, "Yeah, I gotta go, but I'm gonna see you later. I just wanted to come and tell you I'm about to go, and I'll see you later." I'm like, "Okay, all right." And I'm sitting there wondering why is her hair shaved off. So my grandmother lived not too in walking distance from our house. So I walked over to her house. I said, "Grandma, you know, I had a dream about Lynn." And she stopped and she looked and turned around and she said, "What about her?" I said, "She just came to me in a dream and said she was getting ready to go and she'd see me later." She said, "Child, Lynn died last night." I'm like, "What?" And so that's what she was trying to tell me. I said, "Oh, I hope she sees me way later," because I was like 17 at the time and I wasn't ready to go.
Right.
But there was a few other things I wanted to say, but I think
we'll have to pick them back up.
We do have to pick it back up.
Grandma and granddaddy in the old house, he was working, and he was working on the basement, and she's putting on
I just had a dream about my mother in my grandparents' old house.